The air shimmers with raw power as the Armada clashes against the Conclave's bastion. Countless dragons, scales gleaming, dive through geometric energy shields, unleashing ancient fire. Rift constructs, crystalline and cold, retaliate with precise, searing beams of pure light. Mighty titans, mountains of muscle and rage, smash through the intricate alien fortifications. Their thunderous impacts echo across the void, shaking the very fabric of the high gate itself. Conclave weapons, silent and deadly, carve lines of destruction through the advancing allied forces. Entire sections of the Armada simply vanish, consumed by the terrifying, targeted erasure waves. Yet, the tide of monstrous allies surges onward, driven by fury and a primal thirst for freedom. Geometric fortresses, once unyielding, now crack and crumble under the relentless, crushing assault. The hub node burns with chaotic energy, a maelstrom of light, shadow, and desperate, ancient technology. Strange alien war machines, once guardians of order, now break apart into shimmering, useless dust. The Conclave's once pristine defenses are overwhelmed by the sheer, unbridled ferocity of the invasion. A storm of fire and magic rages, tearing through the cold, calculated perfection of the Conclave's realm. Distant screams of metal and stone echo through the void, a symphony of destruction unfolding relentlessly. Every impact sends tremors through the riftweb, a cosmic struggle for the multiverse's very soul. The sky above the high gate boils with dark magic, charged with Tiamat's furious, conquering will. She soars at the vanguard, a living tempest, her 5 heads roaring defiance against the ancient order. The rift crown on her brow pulses with ominous, violet light, amplifying her destructive chaotic power. Upper spires, once untouchable, now twist and contort under the relentless onslaught of hurricane might. Storms of pure, unbridled energy coalesce around her, tearing at the high gate's structural integrity. The very geometry of the Conclave's architecture warps, groaning under the immense, unnatural pressures. Violet lightning, born of the crown, strikes with surgical precision, shattering critical command nodes. Each explosive impact sends cascades of shrapnel and energy raining down upon the battlefield below. Tiamat's eyes glow with cold ambition, her intent clear. Dismantle the old power. Peace. By agonizing peace, she weaves through defensive fire, a shadow of scales and fury, untouchable in her focused devastation. Ancient wards, thought impregnable, flicker and fail under the relentless, concentrated magical assault. The air crackles with ozone and dark magic, a testament to the Dragon Queen's terrifying, ascendant power. Conclave forces, once stoic, now shows signs of fear, their perfect formations beginning to fray and crumble. The high gate trembles, a wounded titan, as Tiamat's fury tears at its very heart and soul. Each shriek from her maw reverberates through the riftweb, a declaration of unstoppable, draconic dominance. Below, the colossal Tyrannosaurus Rex, scarred and fierce, charges through the densest enemy formations. His roars shake the ground, a primeval force of nature unleashed against the sterile alien constructs. Beams of erasure glance off his thick, armored hide, searing flesh, but failing to halt his momentum. He crashes into geometric walls, his immense weight and power turning stone and energy into dust. Conclave defenders, arrayed in countless ranks, fall before a savage, unstoppable, single-minded advance. Rex's eyes burn with an unyielding ferocity, fixed upon the target, an instinctual, primal drive. He takes brutal punishment, energy blasts, tearing at his scales, yet he pushes relentlessly forward. Blood, black against his dark hide, streams down his powerful legs, but his stride never falters. He is a living battering ram, a force of pure destruction, carving a path through impossible odds. The air around him shimmers with residual energy, a testament to the countless attacks he endures. His massive jaws snap at any construct foolish enough to come within reach, crushing steel and light. Each step is a thunderous declaration, shaking the ground, announcing his unstoppable, terrifying presence. He ignores pain, ignores strategy, driven by an instinct to destroy the source of this oppressive order. The path ahead is littered with the shattered remains of Conclave defenses, a testament to his might. His target looms ahead, A colossal sphere of black light, the Null Tide core, pulsating ominously. It sits at the very base of the high gate, a dark heart beating at the center of the conflict. Rex's primal fury intensifies, recognizing the core as the nexus of their enemy is Samala. He barrels through a final line of crystalline guards, sending them scattering like shattered glass. The ground trembles beneath his feet as he closes the distance, a predator nearing its trapped prey. His powerful tail sweeps aside entire platoons of automated defenses, clearing his destructive path. A guttural roar escapes his throat, a sound of pure, unadulterated rage and unyielding determination. The Null Tide core seems to pulse faster, as if aware of the colossal, impending threat it now faces. Conclave structures around the core begin to glow with defensive energy, attempting to repel the beast. Rex, however, is beyond reason, beyond fear, a living weapon focused on total, absolute annihilation. His eyes reflect the ominous glow of the core, a dark light mirrored in his ancient, reptilian depths. The air grows heavy with dread and power as he prepares for the ultimate, devastating impact. Conclave defenses intensify, throwing everything they have at the charging, relentless behemoth. Yet, his momentum is a force of nature, an unstoppable wave crashing against an immovable object. He feels the heart bond within him, a strange connection to the very fabric of this fractured multiverse. This bond fuels his strength, allowing him to absorb blows that would fell lesser, weaker titans. The ground cracks under his immense weight, fissures radiating outwards from his thunderous footsteps. He's a living earthquake, bringing ruin to the sterile, ordered world of the Conclave's dominion. Conclave's strategists watch in horror, their calculated defenses proving utterly useless against such primal might. They had never accounted for a creature driven by such pure, unyielding, instinctual, destructive will. The Null Tide core looms larger, its black light pulsing with a malevolent, ancient, dangerous energy. Rex's focus narrows, every muscle tensing, every fiber of his being committed to this final, decisive blow. He ignores the searing pain, the burning wounds, the countless assaults that sting his scarred hide. The roar that erupts from him now is not just rage, but a challenge to the very essence of the Conclave. It is a primal scream of defiance against the cold, sterile order they had imposed upon the cosmos. He surges forward, an unstoppable force, a living embodiment of chaos against their rigid structure. Conclave, sensing the imminent danger, redirects more of the Null Tide's destructive power. Streams of black light, once aimed at the Armada, now converge to form an impenetrable shield around the core. This desperate act drains energy from other sectors, leaving them vulnerable to the Allied onslaught. The air around the core crackles, heavy with the oppressive weight of the Null Tide's destructive potential. Conclave members, their faces etched with desperation, appear on holographic projections across the battlefield. Their voices, surprisingly calm amidst the chaos, echo through the comms, a plea for cessation. "Stop this madness," one ancient voice resonates, "and we will shut this destructive wave down together." A truce, a temporary alliance. Another pleads, for the sake of all remaining, fragile existency. Tiamat, soaring high above. "Here's their pleas," her eyes narrowing into cold, dismissive slits of fury. She unleashes another volley of crone-enhanced magic, shattering a spire, ignoring their desperate words. Her ambition is absolute. There is no room for compromise, no truce with the architects of her past confinement. The Conclave's offer falls on deaf ears, met only with the roaring thunder of her continued assault. Below, Rex, immersed in his destructive charge, does not even register the holographic projections. Their complex language, their abstract concepts, mean nothing to his primal, focused, reptilian mind. He sees only the core, the target, the obstacle that must be utterly, completely, violently removed. The pleas for peace are mere background noise, lost amidst the cacophony of his furious, relentless attack. He is a force of nature, an unthinking instrument of destruction, guided by instinct and the heart bond. The Conclave's desperate attempt at diplomacy utterly fails, utterly misunderstood by their monstrous foe. Tiamat's attacks from above intensify, further destabilizing the high gate's intricate energy lattice. Cracks spiderweb across the crystalline structures, bleeding raw power into the chaotic, burning atmosphere. The very foundations of the Conclave's central hub begin to groan under the immense, unnatural stresses. Energy conduits, once bright and stable, now flicker erratically, threatening catastrophic system failures. Tiamat unleashes a final, devastating blast of violet fire, striking the High Gate's weakest nexus point. The entire structure shudders violently, losing cohesion, its protective fields collapsing inward dramatically. Rex, meanwhile, reaches the Null Tide core, a colossal sphere pulsating with dark, hungry energy. His massive body slams into it with unimaginable force, a collision of primal power and cosmic dread. A guttural roar tears from his throat as he channels his heart bond, cracking the core from within. The blacklight sphere shudders, a ripple of destructive force spreading through its ominous surface. Rex unleashes pure, unadulterated primal energy, forcing it into the crack, widening the structural fault. His connection to the heart, a cosmic anchor, allows him to disrupt the core's malevolent, internal matrix. The Null Tide core begins to glow with an unstable, internal, purple-black luminescence, threatening rupture. Conclave defenses, now completely overwhelmed, shatter and explode around the struggling, roaring Titan. Simultaneously, far across the multiversal web, Worldwalker triggers the home node's hidden kill switch pulse. A wave of concentrated anti-rift energy surges outward, syncing with Rex's internal core disruption. This remote pulse, a desperate measure, amplifies the chaos within the Null Tide's destructive heart. The core's internal pressure mounts exponentially, a volatile reaction building towards critical mass. Rex pulls back slightly, his instincts screaming danger, but his powerful jaws still clamp onto the core. He feels the immense power surging through him, both destructive and strangely, cosmically resonant. The black light sphere begins to distort, its perfect spherical form rippling like disturbed water. Tiamat, observing from above, sees the core's destabilization, a grim smile gracing her draconic features. Her final, overwhelming magical attack further compromises the High Gate's structural integrity, aiding Rex. The energy lattice of the High Gate buckles, sending cascading failures throughout the entire Conclave hub. The Null Tide core screams, a silent, cosmic shriek of impending, cataclysmic selfies. Its blacklight flares violently, consuming all ambient light, creating a terrifying void in reality. Rex, still connected, feels the agony of the core's impending demise, a strange, profound tremor. He releases his grip, his powerful body thrown backward by the immense, building, concussive force. The colossal sphere of blacklight expands rapidly, swelling beyond its original, ominous, a blinding flash of purple-black energy erupts, consuming everything in its immediate, destructive path. The Null Tide core implodes inward, collapsing upon itself with a devastating, multiversal shaking force. A vacuum of pure, destructive energy forms momentarily, drawing in light, matter, and desperate screams. Then, an outward burst of shimmering, harmless motes of light explodes from the epicenter of the implosion. The Null Tide wave, once a terrifying, sector-wide erasure, instantly crumbles into sparkling dust. It dissipates harmlessly through the rift web, its destructive potential utterly, completely neutralized. The existential threat that had loomed over countless nodes vanishes, replaced by scattered, beautiful light. Relief, a foreign sensation, washes over the battered allied forces, a momentary pause in the relentless battle. Many Conclave structures, deprived of their central power source, begin to groan, crack, and collapse. Geometric spires, once proud and unyielding, now shatter into countless shards of crystalline material. The ground beneath the High Gate trembles violently, unable to withstand the sudden, immense power void. Entire sections of the Conclave hub buckle, folding inward upon themselves with horrifying, grinding sounds. Automated defenses, stripped of energy, flicker once, then die, their silent forms falling to ruin. The brilliant, ordered lights of the Conclave Essed Dominion dim, then wink out, plunging areas into darkness. The silence that follows the implosion is profound, a stark contrast to the earlier, deafening cacophony. Dust and debris, remnants of the once mighty core, rain down like dark snow upon the shattered landscape. The air is thick with the acrid scent of ozone and burnt energy, the smell of absolute, final destruction. Conclave members, those who survived the initial blast, stare in disbelief at the unfolding catastrophe. Their ordered world, their meticulous plans, shattered by the primal fury of Tiamat and the Titan. The Null Tide, their ultimate weapon, their final solution, turned into harmless, sparkling motes of light. T-Highgate, once the unassailable bastion of multiversal order, begins its slow, agonizing, final descent. Massive sections, torn from their foundations, plummet toward the hub nodes. Scarred, burning surface. The impact sends shockwaves rippling across the landscape, further devastating the already ruined terrain. Other parts, dislodged by the implosion, drift silently into the churning, chaotic rift sea beyond the hub. They become lost, adrift in the endless currents of raw, untamed multiversal energy, forever untethered. The Conclave's central command hierarchy, once absolute, is now effectively, utterly, completely destroyed. Their intricate network of control, their vast intelligence, their ancient authority, all vanish. The old order, a millennium of rigid structure, crumbles into dust, leaving a void of power and purpose. No longer do their commands echo through the rift web. No longer do their laws bind countless worlds. The age of the Conclave, an era of meticulous pruning and ruthless, cold control, is definitively over. What remains is a shattered monument to a fallen empire, a testament to the might of their monstrous foes. The rift roads, once carefully charted and controlled, now flash wildly with untamed Chowdican. They surge and twist, breaking free from the Conclave's vanished influence, seeking new, unpredictable pathways. New connections form, old ones dissolve, as the multiversal web reweaves itself without its central weaver. The map of existence, once a precise, ordered diagram, transforms into a chaotic, vibrant, living tapestry. It now resembles a vast, intricate web without a spider, its threads free to stretch and intertwine. Worlds, once isolated or tightly controlled, suddenly find themselves connected to unforeseen, distant realms. The very nature of interworld travel shifts, becoming a wild, unpredictable, dangerous, thrilling frontier. The air hums with the new, untemid energies, a symphony of unbound possibility and terrifying, raw. Tiamat stands amidst the smoldering ruins of the High Gate, her colossal form silhouetted against the chaos. Her eyes, sharp and predatory, scan the wreckage, assessing the spoils of this monumental, hard-won victory. She reaches out with a claw, drawing residual energies from the shattered conclave structures into the crown. The rift crown pulses brighter, absorbing the essence of the fallen order, growing in dark, formidable power. Its cracks glow with an ominous, internal light, reflecting the chaotic, unbound energy it now commands. She claims the High Gate's remaining power as her own, a queen seizing the throne from a fallen empire. Her victory is absolute, her dominanza, undeniable, a new era dawning under her terrifying, draconic shadow. The air around her crackles with the stolen power, a testament to her ruthless ambition and overwhelming might. She surveys her new domain, a multiverse now open, ripe for conquest, awaiting her tyrannical will. Rex, battered but miraculously alive, slowly rises from the immense crater where the core once throbbed. His scales are scorched, his flesh torn, but a fierce, triumphant glint shines in his ancient, reptilian eyes. He shakes his massive head, dislodging debris, a low rumble building deep within his powerful chest cavity. Then, a titanic, guttural roar erupts from him, a sound of pure, unadulterated, primal victory. The roar echoes across the shattered hub, reverberating through the newly freed, chaotic rift web. It is a sound of raw dominance, a declaration of his survival, a challenge to any who might oppose him. The triumphant cry carries through countless nodes, announcing the fall of the old and the rise of the new. His body, a monument to brute force, stands defiant against the backdrop of the ruined, burning conclave. He is the primal king, unburdened by crowns or empires, only by the instinct to conquer and survive. His victory is not one of strategy, but of sheer, unyielding, physical, destructive power and will. He sniffs the air, tasting the freedom, the chaos, the endless possibilities of this new, wild multiverse. The scarred Titan, a force of untamed nature, has played his part in shattering the chains of order. His roar is a primal song of liberation, echoing across the vast, unbounded, now truly free cosmos. Across many distant nodes, local kings, queens, and monstrous beings feel the profound, sudden shift. A tremor of change ripples through the fabric of reality, a cosmic sigh of release and dawning chaos. The omnipresent, watchful eye of the Conclave is gone. Its cold, analytical gaze finally extinguished. No longer do their sterile constructs patrol the rift roads, enforcing their rigid, ancient decrees. The fear of pruning, of sudden, unexplained erasure, vanishes from the hearts of countless civilizations. A sense of wild, untamed freedom, both exhilarating and terrifying, washes over the newly unbound worlds. Local powers, once subservient or hidden, now stir, sensing the power vacuum, the endless opportunities. The old restraints are gone. Only power, the open roads, and countless rivals remain in this new era. Across the home node, the rift crown pulses above, its violet light, casting long, dancing shadows. The deep crack running through its center now glows with an intense, unsettling, almost sentient light. It resembles a malevolent eye, watching, waiting, observing the unfolding chaos it helped to unleash. The crown, now infused with the Conclave's residual power, hums with amplified, dangerous, dark energy. Its influence expands, a silent promise of dominion to whoever wields its formidable, multiversal might. This is the dawn of a free multiverse, a vast, untamed frontier, born from fire and shattered order. The shattered high gate stands as a monument, a tombstone for a fallen era, a beacon for what is to come. The multiverse holds its breath, anticipating the first tremors of the new, unending, brutal wars. It is a realm now ruled by whoever is strong enough, cunning enough, ruthless enough to seize it. The balance of power has shattered, replaced by a brutal, chaotic, and utterly thrilling. Worlds once isolated now face invasion, alliance, or utter annihilation in this new, violent age. The path ahead is uncertain, fraught with danger, yet brimming with the potential for boundless conquest. The cosmic web stretches out, an invitation to endless conflict, to a battle for ultimate supremacy. Tiamat smiles, a chilling, triumphant gesture. Her ambition now truly limitless in this unbound reality. Rex lets out one final, Gutura, Rora, a challenge to the emerging chaos, a king in his own right. The rift crown pulses again, its glowing crack, a dark beacon against the liberated, yet volatile, cosmos. The stage is set for a new era, where only the strong survive, and empires rise and fall like tides. The multiverse holds its breath, awaiting the next brutal chapter, the next clash of titanic wills. Tiamat's gaze sweeps across the vast, open roads, seeing endless realms ripe for her cruel dominion. Rex, ever the predator, senses new prey, new rivals, new challenges in the unbound, wild cosmos. The Conclave's ghost still lingers, a faint echo of order amidst the burgeoning, glorious, beautiful chaos. But its power is broken, its influence dissolved, its authority merely a forgotten, broken memory. The remnants of its empire now serve as a stark reminder of what happens when ancient power falters. The winds of change howl through the riftweb, carrying the scent of freedom and impending, brutal war. Every world now stands alone, or seeks alliances, in the face of this terrifying, glorious, new dawn. The future is unwritten, a blank canvas, awaiting the brushstrokes of conquerors and desperate survivors. The grand game has truly begun, with stakes higher than ever, and no rules to bind the players. The Conclave's dream of ordered stability has imploded, leaving behind a vibrant, dangerous, open frontier. The fractured crown, now more powerful, eagerly awaits its next command, its next surge of dark magic. Tiamat's shadow lengthens over the multiverse, promising an age of draconic tyranny and endless conquest. Rex, a living engine of destruction, prepares for the next battle, the next challenge to his might. The cosmic tapestry reweaves itself, intricate and unpredictable, a testament to raw, untamed power. The Highgate's ruins stand as a monument, a tombstone for a fallen era, a beacon for what is to come. The multiverse holds its breath, anticipating the monumental clashes that are soon to come. The promise of absolute freedom comes with the price of endless conflict, a harsh, undeniable truth. Tiamat's ambition knows no bounds, her gaze already fixed on distant, unsuspecting, vulnerable worlds. Rex, a creature of pure instinct, hungers for the hunt, for the thrill of the next great challenge. The rift roads beckon, shimmering pathways to glory or oblivion, awaiting their next brave travelers. The Conclave's rigid order has given way to glorious, terrifying, boundless, beautiful, primal chaos. The crown's crack glows, a silent, malevolent eye, watching the dawn of its terrifying, new dominion. The multiversal web vibrates, with potential, a symphony of nascent power, waiting to be unleashed. Tiamat's roar echoes across the void, a declaration of intent, a promise of her coming. Brutal reign. Rex responds with a challenging growl, ready for battle, ready to assert his raw, untamed, primal might. The stage is set, the players assembled, for the grand, final act of this cosmic, unfolding drama. The very fabric of reality shivers, anticipating the monumental clashes that are soon to come. No longer constrained, the forces of the multiverse prepare for a struggle of unprecedented scale. The Conclave's demise has opened a Pandora's box of power, ambition, and terrifying, wild freedom. Tiamat, the Dragon Queen, gazes at the limitless horizon, her hunger for conquest now fully unchained. Rex, the apex predator, sniffs the air, ready for the chase, for the thrill of his next great hunt. The Rift Crown, a silent arbiter, pulses with dark energy, awaiting its next world-shattering command. The shattered Highgate stands as a monument, a stark reminder of the old order's profound, brutal end. The cosmic currents of the multiverse now flow freely, guided only by the strongest, most ruthless wills. A new age dawns, an age of endless teeth, of shattered crowns, of boundless, terrifying, glorious power. The Conclave's final light has faded, leaving the cosmos to the hungry, ambitious, and utterly untamed. Tiamat spreads her wings, a silhouette of darkness against the chaotic, vibrant, liberated multiversal sky. Rex lets out a final, earth-shattering roar, claiming his place in this new, wild, unbound reality. The Rift Crown glows, a silent promise of dominion to those brave or foolish enough to seize it. The future is a canvas of chaos, awaiting the strokes of titans, dragons, and desperate, rising empires. The multiversal web, once a cage, is now a vast, open hunting ground for the strongest predators. The echoes of the Conclave's foe reverberate, a warning and an invitation to all aspiring conquerors. Tiamat's ambition burns brighter than ever, fueled by the spoils of her hard-won, cosmic victory. Rex, a force of raw, untamed nature, stands ready for the next challenge, the next brutal confrontation. The fractured crown pulses, a dark heart beating at the center of this newly liberated, dangerous cosmos. The sky above the home node shimmers, reflecting the boundless possibilities of an unbound, wild multiverse. The silence that follows the battle is pregnant with anticipation, with the promise of endless, brutal wars. The old order is dead, and from its ashes rises a new, terrifying, and utterly glorious age of chaos. Tiamat smiles, a predatory glint in her eyes, envisioning her empire spanning the entire, unbound cosmos. Rex thumps his tail, a rhythmic beat of power, ready to defend his dominance against any encroaching rival. The Rift Crown's crack pulses, an ominous eye watching the dawn of this new, unpredictable, violent era. The fractured multiverse awaits its new masters, its new tyrants, its new, brutal, powerful overlords. The roads of light and shadow now stretch infinitely, inviting conquest, inviting exploration, inviting war. The Conclave's legacy is ruin, a stark reminder that even ancient order can be shattered by raw power. Tiamat's reign begins now, a brutal symphony of fire, magic, and unyielding, draconic, cosmic ambition. Rex, the ultimate predator, will carve his own legend in this new, untamed, glorious, savage frontier. The Rift Crown hums with dark power, a silent promise of dominion to those who dare to seize it. The universe holds its breath, poised on the edge of a precipice, awaiting the next cataclysmic chapter. The old chains are broken, the old gods fallen, leaving a power vacuum ripe for the taking, for the strong. Tiamat's gaze sweeps across the unbound cosmos, her will set on absolute, undisputed, total domination. Rex lets out a challenging growl, ready to face any foe, to prove his might in this new, wild reality. The Rift Crown pulses with an eerie, violet glow, its malevolent eye now fully awake, fully aware. The shattered High Gate remains, a grim monument to the price of cosmic order, now brutally overthrown. The Multiverse, a vast, untamed beast, stretches out, waiting for its new, formidable, brutal masters. This is the beginning of the end, or perhaps the end of the beginning, for all existence. The stage is set for a season of endless war, where only power and ruthlessness truly matter. The crown's crack glows ominously, a silent promise of the chaos and conquest yet to come. The free multiverse awaits, a brutal, beautiful, and utterly terrifying playground for titans and gods. Untold worlds now stand exposed, vulnerable to the ambitions of newly empowered, monstrous entities. The scent of absolute freedom mingles with the taste of impending, multiversal, bloody conflict. Tiamat's hunger for domination is insatiable, her gaze piercing the veil between countless, fragile realms. Rex, a titan unbound, prepares his colossal form for the relentless, glorious, unending hunt. The Rift Crown, a beacon of dark power, hums with the promise of a tyrannical new age. The fractured cosmos, now a true wild frontier, beckons the strongest, the most savage, the most cunning. A chilling whisper travels through the rift web. The Conclave is gone, and chaos now reigns supreme. The old balance shattered. A new, terrifying, and utterly glorious chapter now begins for all life. Tiamat's shadow falls across the unbound multiverse, a dark omen of her coming. Brutal, endless reign. Rex, a force of primal destruction, lets out a final, challenging roar, ready for the glorious war. The Rift Crown pulses, its malevolent eye watching the dawn of a multiverse reshaped by pure will. The shattered remnants of the High Gate drift, silent witnesses to the birth of this savage, new era. The cosmos, once ordered, now embraces the beautiful, terrifying, boundless, glorious chaos it has become. Each pulse of the crown sends shivers through reality, a prelude to the coming, epic, multiversal conflict. Tiamat's ambition, now fully unleashed, promises an empire built upon the ashes of countless, conquered worlds. Rex, the apex predator, stands ready to tear through any obstacle, to claim his place in this new, wild reality. The Rift Crown, fractured but ascendant, awaits its next command, its next surge of dark, world-shattering power. The free multiverse, a vast, untamed beast, now truly belongs to whoever is strong enough to take it. The stage is set, the cosmos holds its breath, for the terrifying, endless, brutal wars to come.